March 25th, 2025. This is the front yard, and that was cilantro in bloom. It looks beautiful. This is a plumbago garden, and I have succession plants here. So the cilantro, as you can see, it's pretty tall right now. Anything that's tall is cilantro. The cilantro is growing wild at this point, which is great. This is the third year that it's come up from its own seed. So going to keep spreading the seeds and see how that works out. I do have about 10 or 11 plumbagos in here too. You see this, new, that's a new one. That's a new one. That's a new one. All these up here are new because people used to keep running them over until I put that rock there. And then people stopped running it over so much. But regardless, people keep running over this area, so I have to have these rocks here. I wish I didn't have to have them so close to the street because it's kind of a narrow street. So this is going to be all plumbago right here eventually. I might put the big red sage over here too. I noticed that this was clay, and so I might put the big red sage over here. This is going to be Esperanza in through here. There's going to be 3 to 4 rows of plumbago and then a row of Esperanza right here. The plumbago will be on this side, Esperanza on this side of this little trench or drainage or whatever you want to call it. Do have these random drainage holes here. I mean, this was from a culvert, and when the power company was fixing this pole, they backed a truck over it. This is back in the 70s. I was just told this because I was 1. But they backed the truck up here and crushed the culvert. And so everyone is denied responsibility. And so the people who owned the house previously just never got it fixed. So there you go. Bunch of random holes. Oh, the azaleas. These are here from the previous owner. She loved azaleas. I've got a couple left, and this is going to be the azalea garden eventually. I'm going to move all the azaleas kind of over in this area. You know, they're nice and all, but honestly, they bloom for like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks at the most. And even cilantro blooms longer than that. The cilantro's been in bloom now for a month. So this is, it's just not my favorite. I do have some variegated ginger here. It seems to be coming back up. You can see a whole bunch of it right here. And I have 2 more. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. And there should be one right here. I wonder if it got fried by the sun. It wasn't in the best spot. So got some variegated ginger. This garden has always been one of my favorites. It's the Turk's Cap garden. Every year we do a hard trim. I say we because I involve my yard crew. It's such a big job to do this hard trim. I'm only here, 1 week a month, if that. 1 weekend, a month. So it's really hard to come out here and just work for a whole weekend. So I get a yard crew to help me, and this is what's left. So I am eventually going to have a succession plant. You'll notice there's no succession planting in here, which is what allowed the weeds to get started. I'm going to put spiderwort in here. So spiderwort and Turk's Cap will alternate. So just like up there, I'll have a succession planting here. These loquats are here as a screen. So there's 2 of them here, and honestly, when this one volunteered, I thought, man, it's just not big enough. I need a bigger screen. And then this one volunteered right behind it. Perfect. That's exactly what I need. A wind screen, not a visual screen. When you move through, when the wind blows through here, it is just moving. And so I wanted something for the wind that's coming right over here. This is going to be great. So I've got a yopon over there. And actually, I don't think that's a yopon. I think that is a, I can't remember. I have one of them in the backyard. It is I can't remember, plant. And this is, the 2 loquats are, they've always been on this property. From back in the 70s, I've seen pictures, and there's loquats. They were always over here. But I got to think that, nobody else around here has loquats. So I got to think these are from squirrels. And so that's great. So they're kind of keeping the succession of loquats going. And they're in a great spot here. They're in a wonderful spot to shield the Turk's cap from the west sun and to shield the north wind from that passage, or at least give it a little bit of breakage. Cast iron plants. These cast iron plants have seen better days. They weren't ever this big, to be honest with you. This is where Grandpa used to park the trailer. There was a bunch of thick stuff here, and it was grown up as a screen. And the cast iron plants have just done what cast iron plants do. There's a reason they're called cast iron plants. They're in almost full sun right now. Almost. They do get some filter from the sweet gums up there, but mostly full sun, and they're still doing okay. So once these, I can't remember the name of this tree. Once these grow up, and these loquats grow up, they should have a lot of shade here. Put these in years ago. I can't wait to go back and look at the videos to see how much they've grown. I give them literally no care. I just wanted to kind of see what happened when I don't do anything for them, and guess what? They're doing just fine. This is a flame leaf sumac. So this is ideally what I want here. I have a crepe myrtle, and I don't want this crepe myrtle here because the aphids poop all over the AC unit, and it's going to decrease the life of the AC unit. I'm literally just waiting for this to get big enough so that I can take this out. And I'm guessing 3 to 5 years. This is its second year. You can tell it's kind of hurting. It's really not doing that well. And excuse me. That looks good, but it should have. I have others, more of these, and they're out right now. This is barely coming out, and it's got a weird growth pattern here. Whatever. It's only its second year, so we'll see what happens. Maybe trim it in October. This wax leaf ligustrum is one of my favorites in April. It's actually just starting to put on the buds for the blooms. The cast iron plant kind of shades the roots over here, and the wax leaf ligustrums act as a partial screen. So it's really, it's a little bit more challenging to see into the living room when you're back. Yeah, it's a nice little screen there. And plants, man, put in a Texas persimmon here. Just put this in. That was native from my yard, just kind of coming up, and I found it and needed an evergreen here. I know it's slow growing, but it's also going to be a good windscreen. I don't need hurricane windscreen coming from this side, just like north wind. This is rough leaf dogwood. Very excited for this. I've always wanted a dogwood tree ever since I visited the dogwood forest as a kid, and so very excited for one of these. It's a rough leaf version, but whatever, it'll be okay. Another Texas persimmon over there. Again, dug up from my yard. They're so small. When they're super small like this, it's really easy to grow them. They're ready to grow. They're programmed to grow with little care. So if you put them in the ground that small, you don't have to take care of them. They just grow native. But you got to identify them when they're that small, Redbud. I have cut down most of the redbuds here for various reasons. They're just, they were all volunteers except for one, I think. So this is keeping it alive. The tradition, I guess. This is definitely going to be a shaded spot here. It's under a big white oak and sweet gum to the west. So this redbud and this persimmon should grow pretty cool together. They're about 7 feet apart. And, that's kind of a crazy growth pattern, and the redbud's kind of all over the place shooting up. So these should look pretty cool together in about 10 years. I'm interested to see what happens there. Sweet gum. I couldn't plant a forest and not plant some natives, right? So this is a sweet gum tree. As you can see, it's super small. Identified it, pulled it up, put it in. Perfect. This is a white oak. I think they're super small right now. But again, yesterday I identified the leaf. I pulled it up and planted it. I believe it's a white oak. I think this is a water oak. It's kind of hard to tell when they're super small, but I think this is a water oak here. I have 2 trees that haven't put on leaves yet, and I think one of them was a blackjack oak. So I'm really interested. I'm hoping that this is it. This is the blackjack oak, just to add some variety. The blackjack oak is a great snag tree, and this would be a good spot for a snag in the yard. So this is another water oak here. This is going to be a giant. So water oak. Oh, actually, that's a water oak too. Water oak, because this is the white oak. Or no, is this the water oak? This is the white oak. Yes, this is the white oak. So water oak. Unknown. I think it's a blackjack, but unknown. Sweet gum, persimmon, redbud, and a white oak. And this white oak is going to be like this one. I didn't want to put them right next to each other because you see they have a nice big broad canopy. So these will touch each other in about 20 years anyway. So another white oak here. And so that's what I did yesterday, was put in this forest. Pretty excited about all this. Gonna put a chink pin right here. Chink pin is gonna aid with the windscreen from over here. So the chink pin right here, right about here, will block everything going that way. Perfect. One of my favorite plants is a chili patine. I want to have 2 different populations of them in case something happens. I like them that much. So here's one, and I'm hoping to have 4 to 5 of them here. And the other ones I have growing on the other side of the yard with lantana. This is a foxtail fern, just struggling, just keeps moving along. So I pulled out all the mulch so that it could get some water. Thankfully it rained last night, and here we are. So continuing in the front yard, this is one of the azaleas from the previous owner. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to move that over eventually. It's just not at the top of my list, or it's not even on the list right now, to be honest with you. These are 3, I want to say they're called Bravo Texas sages. Gosh, I'm forgetting the exact name of these, but they're not my favorite. I bought those on a recommendation for the Houston area. These are my favorite. These are grown from cuttings from my house. This is what I think of when I think of a Texas sage. Silver, almost white. And that's what I'm looking for. It's really hard to get a white in a landscape, so this is eye-catching. This will get about 6 or 7 feet tall. This one's been here, I think, for 4 years now. And I mean, it might even get taller in ideal conditions. You never know. But I do know that these are all 4 cuttings, and I'm really excited to have a little area here that just kind of blocks this from the street. So this will blend with these, and so as people are going by on the street, they just won't hopefully even see it. I mean, I'll leave these here because they're cool, and it's a different contrast of Texas sage, and this is my favorite native plant, is a Texas sage. This is one of the reasons I got into native gardening. I just love this plant. It's so tough. So I'll leave these here. This garden is tropical sage, Salvia coccinea. You can see it starting to come up here. Salvia coccinea. And I put 3 different salvias in here, and I was going to let one of them dominate and keep going. And Salvia coccinea definitely did it. The thing is killing it. Salvia coccinea, tropical sage, doing really well. So, I've tried to have 2 things growing here. Neither one of them have worked. So I'm going flame acanthus. The flame, zoomed in a bit much. The flames work really well, and I can't get anything to grow here. So I'm going to put a 2nd row Mexican bush sage in all along, And then right here we're going to have flame acanthus. This is a volunteer flame acanthus. I'll move that guy. But canyon sage, a bunch of canyon sages up here. I think I lost a canyon sage right there. This was supposed to be plumbago, but again, it's just not growing that well. So I think what I might have to do is dig up these plumbagos and move them over there. They're warm weather plants, so I could do it in warm weather from here for a while and it rains a little bit. Another flame acanthus, very successful plant in this garden, so I'm going to leave this one. I had a game camera set up right here on the sago palm, this massive sago, and what I found is that there's an armadillo living in there. Crazy. I didn't even know that. So it's kind of cool. You can kind of see that something's going in that hole. Now, I had planted several different ground cover natives here, and I can't tell if they're coming up because of all this thatch, but hopefully the sensitive briar is still in here. I planted, I don't know, 3 to 5 different sensitive briar plants here, just trying to get it going. I don't know if this will work in this area, but I thought I'd give it a try. I really like that pollinator plant. But the canyon sage is awesome. Canyon sage is it's red and white. Just beautiful, beautiful. A little bit more white oftentimes. It's red and white typically. And the Mexican bush sage, I just love this stuff. Gosh, it's so hardy, so tough, great flowers. Yeah, I just need another row of it. There. So Mexican bush sage, flame acanthus in the middle, and canyon sage to cap it off up here. But the flame acanthus going from here almost to the sago, I need a path in the middle, and then a strip of flame acanthus over there, maybe a couple wide, like 11 of them or so over there. Strip of Mexican bush. This is going to look awesome. It's so close. The canvas is looking so close right now. Very pleased. And the sago, I mean, God, I guess it's a Houston crown. I would have put a maybe some sort of yucca rostrata or something like that there, but whatever. This is the Houston version of it. And it's old. It's really cool. This is a sweet almond verbena. They're definitely mature now. They're holding their size and their leaves are coming back at the tips. So super excited to see what happens with this. I have read that they'll get 15 feet tall, but not typically in Texas. So we will find out. Lots of Greg's Mistflower growing in the bed just at random, which is great, which is what I want. I put it in here just as ground cover, and it's competing with all the various ground covers in here. So I try to keep it open so that it can outcompete stuff at the beginning of the year, and then it just does it at the end of the year. It just does it. So it looks great. All of the a couple of the spiky things are Esperanza. Most of the spiky things are Pride of Barbados. Pride of Barbados has killed it. It's done really well. Well, maybe not a great plant term when I say killed it, but Pride of Barbados has done really well. I don't know why this sage wasn't trimmed more, but this is a Salvia gregii. It's my favorite Salvia gregii. It not only has a beautiful green, hunter green leaf, but it also has an amazing red flower on it. Here's one. So the combination of green and red, this combination is somewhat unique. I'm not sure if it's even being captured right now because it's spring or whatever, but it's typically a very hunter green leaf. You can see right there. And then this is typically a bit more red. So that is a great pollinator plant. It'll get really thick, and I'm going to have a couple rows of it here. My neighbors, air quotes, neighbors, keep running over my lawn. So there's a whole strip where people are running over it. And so there's been a couple of my rocks that have been hit hard. And so I'm moving them closer to the street. I don't understand why they're being so rude, but I left them, I don't know, like 16 inches, and they took all of it, and they're running over everything. I can't plant anything. The boulders are here because there used to be 2 rows of tracks here. Once I put the boulders here, that shit stopped. So they are great educators. These are passive educators. It's my math teacher. It's my finance teacher. That's my economics teacher. And if you hit them, they will show you how it works. So talked about Salvia gregii. This is the Greg's Mistflower kind of hunkering down underneath the Salvia forsythia sage. This was meant to be here as something that kind of pops up in the fall, some fall color, and it has really taken off. It's doing really well. Might even transplant some of that elsewhere. So this was a bunch of Mystic Spire sages, and I don't know what happened to them. I don't know, but they seemed to do really well at first, and then they die off early in the year. So I want to keep them in the garden, but I'm trying to keep them back. So when this one died, I wasn't really upset, because I'm going to plant the next ones back here. They get tall, so you'll see them, but when they die back, you'll still see these that'll be in full bloom, not these, instead of them being right up on the road. This one's a little bit too close for me, but they definitely have a different habit here. They have a different culture. They bloom really fast and really furious early. You can almost see a bloom on it right now. It might be a leaf, I don't know. But regardless, they bloom really fast and really early, and then they peter out. So, this is a Texas native that I pulled directly from Devil's River, from Gerald's house. And this is a mealy blue sage. The mealy blue sage that you get in stores is slightly different than this one. This one I have taken this leaf up to the natural gardener to compare it with leaves, and the leaves look different. They're not the same leaf. It's a slightly more silver color, so maybe the one that we have has been adapted or something, but they're one of the first bloomers right here. Bumblebees are all over them. Mealy blue sage requires no care, no water. I put 3 of them here. 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 or 5 now. So they definitely reproduce, or 6 actually. It looks like I have a 6th one there. They definitely reproduce. They do a great job at that. Not quite as thick as I want, but I think they go with stuff. Like, I think you would plant this with something that blooms later, maybe a Salvia gregii, for example. So this right here is garlic chives that I planted from, I'm sorry, not garlic chives, they're not at all. These are oxblood lilies, and the oxblood lilies bloom typically about September. These are just here for safekeeping right now. I want them to get acclimated to Houston, and they've really spread. I want them to get acclimated to Houston, and then eventually I'm going to move them. But this whole strip here is literally just a holding spot. This is going to be the edge of, this is just, I needed somewhere to put them, and this is a good area. So that's what that is. This stuff here. Gosh, I wish I could remember. This is the same kind of tree that I can't remember the name of. And it's so frustrating. That's okay. So this garden here was a bunch of old azaleas. It really became overgrown, and so I have an opportunity to change this now, now that they're dead. I think what I'm going to do is take this tree out of the bed and probably take that out, and I'm going to expand this so it will come back over here like this, something like that. So this whole area right there will be for wildflowers. I'll get the Esperanza moving back, and all kinds of stuff you can do right here with this kind of light. It's great for growing. So yeah, This is the awkwardness of this bed for the next 2 years. It's going to be just awkward as shit. It is what it is. When I move in, it's going to change. These are looking pretty good, though. And the garbage cans are out, whatever. But honestly, look at that. It looks pretty good. Mexican Mint Marigold. Got a shit ton of it here. And it's doing really well in this bed. Better than I thought. This one's been here for 3 years now. And it has really got nice, big 3 year. There's a few of them that have lasted 3 years. But I've added some over the years. This one's grown. Obviously what happened is it had a limb that was growing here. You can see a tire track that backed over here. The tire mashed the limb into the ground, and then the limb has grown sprouts. So there's sprout there, sprout there, sprout there. Yeah, so the limb is, sprout there. So the limb has obviously grown stuff too. Anyway, there's about 20 of them in here now. I planted a couple of them in here, 3 in here this year. It's super, super small, but it's growing seed and they should be fine. Kind of set up a little system of irrigation down there so everything would flow down. Looks like it might have worked, actually. Actually, it looks like it worked great. Over here too. So this is a fall bloomer, but it's definitely going to be curb appeal. You crowd these together like super, super close, like that. Crowd them together, and I would say, because they're not all mature yet, in 2 more years, this is going to be pretty impressive during the fall. Right now, it is what it is. And so you can see several here, all the way up to there. So as people are driving in, huge mass of them. And it's really thick right here, up to here, so over here too. I'm kind of massing them along the border for more curb appeal. And eventually this whole thing will be, for about a month or 2 months, this is going to be the only thing in the subdivision blooming, because it's a fall bloomer and it looks really, really nice. You can see the bluebonnets also. Construction going on next door, but whatever. Bluebonnets look really nice this year. There's only a few of them, which is kind of shitty, but the ones that are up look really super nice. I think what I'm going to do is put a game camera over here. I'll put a game camera right there with a sign attached to it that says this bed is full of bluebonnets. And I like this little moss on the tree. It's kind of cool. This is a big sweet gum, huge sweet gum. It looks like this is about to take over the stage. The bed straw is kind of pervasive here right now, and looks like just missed a little bit. It comes out really quick. Look at that. What was that? I'm gonna go back and look at that timer. 10 seconds. It was really fast. So got a few Gulf muleys here. I had 5 of them here, but 2 of them died for some reason. I'm gonna put up a couple more over here. And this is the other Forsythia sage. So the Forsythia sage is the yellow stuff that comes up in the fall. So I've got some over there, and I've got some over here. That's on purpose so that as people are driving by, they'll see the spikes over there, and then they'll also see the spikes over here, and it'll draw their eyes back and forth. That's the idea. Bluebonnet. This is a bluebonnet bed. It should be full of bluebonnets right now, but I believe what happened is the people who were putting in the stuff here, they were trampling this whole area, and I think that's what happened. That's the reason there's only some up there, because they were on this side of the area the whole time. It's really unfortunate. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. So this is a mission fig. Oh, so excited for this. So excited for this. This is a fig brought over by the Spanish, allegedly. I just know what I'm told. Fig brought over by the Spanish. And this is the fig that fig Newtons are made from. Very excited about this. It went through a pretty big storm last night and it's unscathed, so I guess that thing is working. But I'm gonna, for a fig, they will fall over, so I'm probably just gonna leave this here for like a year. leave the stakes. These guys got screwed last year. You can see all the growth. Like, they had a ton of growth on them, right? But their shade tree fell over. When their shade tree fell over, they had shade leaves on them. They weren't ready for the full sun. They are now. Everything coming out now looks like it is a different leaf. It doesn't even look the same leaf. It's more oblong, which is really interesting. Oh, you can see an interesting leaf there. I've never seen a leaf like that on a mountain laurel. So these 5 mountain laurels are here as a windscreen. I mentioned that wind comes howling down here, and so they're specifically designed to push wind away. There will be some wind leakage, but this thing's going to get big. It's going to extend like here. So as the wind blows, there will be some wind leakage, but hopefully it gets pushed around. You can also see the drainage ditch we put in. Water's just moving through here, so I wanted to hit and go that way. I'm eventually going to open this up so the water comes through and filters through this lawn here. I know that I'm inviting some pollution and some road stuff, but I think before it hits my orchard, which is here, I think I'll set up a system of berms, so it will purify itself by the time it gets here to go into the orchard. So, this is the mountain laurel bed. They're coming along. They're really coming along. This one's doing the best now. It wasn't at first, but these guys got screwed. Their shade tree died, and they literally lost all their leaves. You can see the burn. Look at the burn on that leaf right there. So anyway, it's coming back. They look like they're hurting, but they're coming back. And there is no plan for me to add more shade. So they have a red bud over here. They have a pine tree over here. They're going to get like 6 to 8 hours of sun a day, which is not what they're used to, but they can handle it, and they're just going to have to figure it out. All right. Got a couple cameras up there now. It's pretty awesome. This is the yard. It is pretty nice. It's coming along. It's really coming along.